Hi, I'm Leena and I'm here with Jess Phillips, the author of Every Woman and also a major MP.
Major?
Major.
Yeah, I mean, they often say senior MP and I don't know what that means.
No,
just
that's
old.
a bit offensive.
I think it just means old.
Just be like the boss. So I had a few questions for you. I don't know if you'd mind humouring them. My first one is, what is an activist? Because we're all active, we all move around the world, otherwise we'd be dead. What is an activist?
I suppose an activist is a person who doesn't just talk about things that they're bothered by and actually does something about it. You've got a problem with something or you're annoyed at something, and you do something about it, you are an activist. It's as simple as that.
Because I like to talk about what I don't like, but I hear that that's not a niche interest. And
No,
what are
I'd
some
say
ways
that's quite popular.
that I can actually do it? Which ways can I start being active?
Well, it depends what you're annoyed about, really, but there is being a political activist. That's the easiest way, actually, I think, to join a formalised...
Is that one of the easiest ways?
Well, I mean, I say easiest as well as sometimes mind-numbingly boring.
Effective.
Effective, but there is groups of activists about everything. If you care about something, there will be somebody else who cares about it. So getting in touch with somebody else. So if you want to be a political activist about a political party, you should join your local political party.
What will they ask for?
I mean,
leaflets?
I could lie to you and say that it's going to be all fun. They're going to make you sit in quite long meetings and deliver leaflets, but you can never ever change the way that political parties operate unless you join them and make them better. So I don't have big long meetings. We do activism about issues. So in my local political party, it might be that something is shutting down or that we want to see a service that doesn't exist, for example domestic violence services or services for children and young people with mental health problems, and we would decide to take an action on that. Often the action will be trying to get somebody like me, big boss MPs, to care about it, or local councils to care about it, or sometimes you just have to do it by yourself. You have to raise money, you have to come up with a way to make the thing that you want to happen. But just being sad that there isn't something there and then hoping that just complaining that something isn't there won't necessarily make it happen. So I would say always have an outcome in mind and a plan to get to that outcome.
That makes sense. How do you get over this idea when there's so much wrong with the world and you look at it and you're like, that's rubbish, that's also rubbish. How do you get over this kind of like almost kind of lethargy about it and getting kind of quite tired of hearing about it? How do you pick one thing that you care about?
We do have to focus and there is lots of activism at the moment that I think is luxurious activism, that is people who are annoyed with everything and they think that the revolution is going to change everything, and it very well may, but some of us might be dead before the revolution arrives.
Not quite as sexy as we were first envisioning.
So when there's terrible poverty that I see in the area where I live, and absolutely I know that a different way of governing would make that better, and a sharing of wealth. However, I am one person. Don't overestimate your abilities. So I know that I might not be able to overthrow the government and make a different welfare policy all on my own, you know, using sticky notes. But I could...
Never underestimate the power of sticky notes.
But I could set up a food bank and a service for people in my local area. Activism is definitely run by people who bothered to turn up, which means that quite a lot of people who really like boring meetings are running the world. So go along and make those meetings a bit more representative, and don't
make a few jokes in them.
Definitely make a few jokes. Definitely make a few jokes because humour is disarming. Yeah.
If there was one thing that you wanted people to take away from Every Woman, what would it be?
Mainly that I just want people to speak up. I want people not to feel...
Get gobby.
And to realise the power that you have if you speak up. And now we are in a part of a global movement where people spoke up and finally it feels like we're being listened to. But it takes momentum, it takes everybody being a tiny bit brave.
I'm somebody who really likes to get stuff done and I like to do it on my own, but I can't, and I'm really worried about asking for help. What would you say to me?
I think that the main problem people have with any activism, political activism, proper organised political activism, as well as just people who have an idea and want to do something about it, is that they don't want to impose. It's a very British thing. And people like to be asked. People think it's an honour to be asked to do something for somebody. It makes you feel trusted. And also, I think one tip I would say is always it's better to apologise than it is to ask for permission.